was a couple of months ago. Our dad passed away, and I don't know, I hadn't seen my brother in a long time. And so I got a phone call letting me know. And they told me, all right, your dad's passed away. Can't tell you much more than that, but he left behind his ashes. He wanted to be cremated, I guess. And apparently there's a reward if we would just swallow our pride and get together. Me and my brother Geoff. Geoff's not quite like myself. He's got some issues, and we haven't always seen eye to eye. So I wasn't looking forward to going on a road trip with him just to take care of my dad's ashes. In fact, I was kind of loathing it. He's done a lot of things that I don't approve of, and we haven't seen eye to eye in a long time. And I don't think anything he could have said or done would have prepared me for what was going to happen next. So I woke up early last Sunday morning, made some coffee, kissed my wife goodbye, and I went to pick up Geoff. Of course, he's not ready, but, you know, that's kind of what I was expecting. So once he gets in the car, you know, we had a little bit of chit chat. We're catching up. I'm preparing myself for him to tell a bunch of bullshit stories. And he starts talking about Dad and what he thought happened, and, you know, how we had to protect ourselves from any weird crap, any spirits that he thought had somehow affected Dad's lineage, which is us. You know, Geoff thinks there's curses in everything, and that's, I guess it's part of his charm, but it's also part of what fucking annoys the piss out of me. So we pitted up a few times. We grabbed some supplies, some food, gas. You know, Geoff's got to have his tokey tokes. And we made our way to the Snug Lodge, which was the final resting place that my dad wanted his ashes to be spread. I wish we'd never gone. I wish we'd never gone. So we arrived at the lodge, and Geoff thinks it's the best thing ever. It's huge. It's got all this space. It's serene. It's in nature. It was kind of nice. There's a big lake overlooking a nice hill that slopes down. There's the big lodge. There's a great hall. It's all run by this old shaman dude. Calls himself Roberto. And he's got an assistant guy, gardener, caretaker, maintenance guy. I think his name was Digger. Kind of gave me the creeps. So Geoff and I, we were kind of getting at each other, and we decided to go and spread my dad's ashes in the morning. And it's dumb. Since we were little kids, Geoff's always been afraid of the water. I've always been a strong swimmer, and I kind of would razz him about it. And I'm not proud of it, but we went out in the boat, out onto the lake to spread the ashes, and I started rocking the boat. And I thought I would get a laugh out of Geoff, but he got super pissed off. And one thing led to another. I accidentally tipped the boat. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean for us to go over. And Geoff got some of the ashes in his mouth. It's not funny. And then, yeah, I had to pull him back to shore, and he was pretty fucking choked at me. So I'm not proud of that. That was on me. That was my fault. And he didn't do anything to deserve that. But that doesn't matter. He was choked. We got back to shore. And that night, I was trying to sleep, but Geoff, he just wouldn't fucking go to sleep. I told him to smoke a joint, just dull your senses. It's been a heavy day. He decides to go for a walk, and I'm drifting off to sleep, and not even an hour goes by. He comes running into my room. He's like, "Bro, fucking dog man's out there." I was like, you gotta understand, Geoff's always been the guy who cries wolf. Geoff's always been the guy who's the bullshitter, who's the storyteller, but he's the bullshitter, right? You gotta take everything he says with a grain of salt. So he comes in my room, bro, you gotta fucking see this, the fucking dog man. I just want peace and quiet. Dad just passed away. We just had a big fight. I just didn't have time for his bullshit, and I told him to fuck off. And after how I treated him during the day, I kind of regret that. He didn't look angry at me. He looked disappointed. Like he had seen something, and I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it in the moment. So that morning, decided to take a walk with him. He's gonna show me where he saw the dog man. I didn't see anything. I looked at the trees, there's no scratch marks. He said he heard all these noises. I'm hearing birds. I don't know what he was expecting from me. But the tension was in the air. The struggle, the strain between us was very palpable. And Roberto, the healing shaman, is like, why don't we do a ceremony, guys? Why don't we heal ourselves of all this pain, let it go? And to me, it sounded like a good idea. I didn't think Geoff was gonna go for it, but he was actually on board. And I thought, okay, what are we doing? Are we doing some mushies? Are we smoking some DMT? Roberto made this concoction. I've never tasted anything so foul. I've never smelt something that was like a mix of death and decay and corn syrup. But we drank it, and we waited, and we waited. We waited some more. And then there was this flushing feeling, this onset of crystallization, of geometrics, of color palpitations. I started to see sounds. I started to see images of my father. I started to see images of my family. And eventually, I'm not happy about it, but I threw up. I threw up again. But then I felt this overwhelming peace. It came over me. Geoff didn't have quite the same experience. He started rocking around, looking all around like he was seeing a whole bunch of demons. Eventually he started shrieking and screaming. He got up, started thrashing around. I was in no state to take care of him. But Shaman Roberto and even Digger, they jumped on his ass, tried to hold him down. He was losing his shit. He threw them off and he ran out into the forest. And I wanted to run after him, but I felt so grounded, so paralyzed in this warm, enveloping embrace that I thought, this can't be happening. This is Geoff's journey to exorcise his demons. That's what I told myself. So the next morning, Geoff wasn't back. I didn't know where the fuck he was. So I start panicking, and I say to Sean and Roberto, did he come back? Did you guys see him? Digger, did you find him? Nobody had seen him. So I had to go out, walking the forest, looking behind every tree, behind every stone. So finally, I see a shoe, and then I see it's tied to a leg, and I see I see my brother, Geoff. He's like half naked, and I try to wake him up. And as soon as he wakes up, he freaks out. He pushes me off. He starts running away again. So this time I chased after him. And I finally caught up to him. And he was like a wild animal. He lunged at me, and I could only defend myself. So I threw an elbow that cracked his jaw, and he just got more upset. He's a big guy, Geoff, and I'm not a slouch myself. But when he hit me with that left, I thought my jaw was gonna break off, and I went down hard. But if there's one thing our dad taught us, it was we don't give up. You fight back. So I got back up, and I picked Geoff up, and I threw him onto the ground, and I jumped on him, and I tried to choke him out. And he hit me 3 times in the ribs. He hit me in the liver. I rolled off of him, and he started trying to break my ankle. So I stomped on his hand. Then he got really, really pissed off and grabbed my nutsack. So I elbowed him right in the face. So he punched me in the nutsack, which caused me to elbow him across the jaw, and that knocked him down. I shouldn't have started gloating, but he used his legs to take down my legs, jumped on me with both elbows. We're rolling around in the dirt. I'm trying to get him with blows, trying to block incoming hits. Finally, he gets a mount on me, and he just starts fucking wailing. I'm seeing stars. I'm seeing bright lights. I'm laughing because I can't believe this is happening. And I'm just like, get off me, you fucking prick. And he starts laughing back. And finally, I'm able to get one leg, and I kick him off me, and he rolls back. And I just ran up and I tackled the shit out of him. But he flipped me over with his leg. He starts trying to stomp on my head. So now I'm like, you're fucking serious? So I grabbed a huge branch and I tried to smash him over the head with it. Instead, he rolls out of the way, sweeps my legs, he grabs the branch. Now I'm trying to dodge. He's hitting left, he's hitting right. I roll backwards and I find a rock and I struck it at his fucking head. He gets all dazed, drops the stick, and now I'm like, hey, this is my chance. So I go up, 1, 2 to the fucking nutsack, then a big elbow to the face. He's totally stunned, and I'm like, hey, this is my chance. I start telling him to calm down. I'm like, we don't have to do this anymore, Geoff. We can talk it out. Like, I'm exhausted at this point. And he's like, takes his hands like this, and he goes behind, he goes, never! Smashes me in the face, and I go flying back into a tree. And at this point, I'm ready to give up. Like, I got nothing left. I'm gassed. I'm juiced. And he starts laughing. It's like, you never could finish a fight. You're always just giving up. And I was like, that's you! You're the one who always gives up. You're the one who runs away from everything. And he's like, the dog man is fucking real. Say it. Say the dog man is real. And I haven't seen the dog man. I don't think it's real. He's not going to convince me. I don't care how gassed I am. So I stand up 10 feet away from him and I say to him, there is no dog man, but I could do this all fucking day. And then I feel something at my ankles and it pulls me. I flump down and I get dragged off into the fucking forest. Dragged away from my brother. I don't remember what happened next. I remember waking up and my brother was right there. I was hanging upside down and I woke up and saw his knees. And then he got me loose and I fell on my neck. I remember that hurting. And I remember my fight or flight kicked in. He was trying to give me a hug or trying to tell me something and I just wouldn't hear him and I ran off. And this time I saw the dog man. I saw it in the flesh. He wasn't lying. My brother wasn't lying. The dog man's real. And I didn't believe him. And now I don't know where he is. I ran back to the cabin trying to find something to defend myself with, a knife, a gun. I didn't give a fuck. The dog man is fucking real. My brother came running after me. And we finally had it out. Not with our fists, but with our arms. We hugged. And I told him I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't believe you. But then someone kicked in the door. And we thought it was the dog man. And I didn't even look, I just fired. I didn't realize the digger was still around the grounds and he was just coming to check up on us. And I fucking shot him in the chest. I think this dog man is still on the loose. And I think Roberto, the shaman, I think he has something to do with it. But I want to find my brother because he told me he's going to hunt down the dog man. I said I'm going to go to the cops. I don't know if you guys are going to believe me. I don't know if you're going to understand what the fuck I'm talking about or if you're willing to go back to Snug Lodge and investigate. I just want my brother to be all right. I know he's a stupid son of a bitch, but he deserves a shot. So I think we should load up and go back there. We should find my brother, and we should find the fucking dog man and put an end to him once and for all. So are you gonna help me? Are you gonna do your fucking job? Huh? I don't have time to fuck around. So there.